Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Rob. I hope you like the intro. I don't think I could have done a better intro for this title than what they already provide for it. Now, the footage I used for this video of Le Mans Ultimate, I thought I had my in-game commentary. So apparently my microphone wasn't being recorded for whatever reason. So kind of screwed up how I planned on doing this video. It's my first drive of LMU since I was able to figure out drivable wheel settings. And I'm going to say right off the bat, getting your wheelbase to work with a title should not be as difficult as I have found it to be with Le Mans Ultimate. But, and here's the but, in order to get it drivable, what I ended up doing was uninstalling it and reinstalling it and then starting from scratch again. Set the basic wheelbase settings in Moza Pit House to 900 rotation. Set the car, the in-sim rotation to 900 degrees as well as sync the two of them. That has gotten it better. It's still not perfect. It's still slightly off, but it's manageable. The problem I have now is the force feedback feels like a rubber band. It doesn't feel crisp. Doesn't feel like it does in ACC or iRacing. I'm sure it's a setting that I just need to figure out, and I will figure it out in time. Another issue I have with it too is also with the field of view. The field of view I can't seem to get right. I'm so used to the field of view in iRacing, that's what I'm trying to replicate. I'm also not used to where the pit entry and exit is, because they don't use the same pit entry and exit that IMSA uses. And I'm used to where IMSA uses it because of how many races I've done on iRacing at Sebring. But there's a lot of similarities between the two, and there's a lot of differences between the two and how the track is modeled. I will say, LMU, you definitely need to respect the bumps. It is way more bumpy than it is in iRacing. I have never driven on Sebring, so I don't know how the real track is, but I do know that the motto there is you have to respect the bumps. If you don't, they will attack you. Alright, so this is my first practice session since I figured out how to do online practice, and there's more to discuss about that. But anybody who complains about the subscription cost of iRacing but rave about LMU, considering in order to get into a practice session that's more than one lap long, you need to buy into their race department. So that's kind of the same as iRacing subscription. It's just a little bit cheaper, not much. But that's a discussion for a different time, not at this time. But this is my first practice session since figuring out how to get into a practice session. And here's another a picture-in-picture of the iRacing field of view versus the LMU field of view. And you can see the clear difference in how much more available view I have in iRacing. One of the things about LMU is I feel like the car is noticeably slower, and I do understand that WEC uses a different BOP than IMSA does, and it's a different BOP than what SRO uses, all three of them. So iRacing is more IMSA based, ACC is more SRO based, and LMU is based on WEC, or World Endurance Championship. Each one has their own BOPs, and the BOP differences are noticeable. So it's just the field of view makes the car feel even slower than what it probably is, and it also makes it harder to. It's kind of hard to explain because it really is a visual thing about trying to find where your brake reference markers are and how the corner seems when you're approaching it. There is a difference in how the two will look. I kind of cheated and did the lazy thing and just grabbed most recent practice session in the McLaren, which would be at Algarve. No, not Algarve. Aragon. So what I probably should have did was I probably should have loaded a similar session in iRacing at Sebring with overcast or rain, because it is raining in LMU. Another thing I have is, if you look at the tire data on the top left corner, you will see I have medium racing slicks on the car, and it is raining. Figure that one out. The car feels like it has a ton of grip too.
Yellow flag, watch out. You've had a lot of air damage there, mate. The bodywork looks pretty fucked.
Yeah, I binned it. I misjudged the corner. Like I said, the field of view issue makes it hard for me to judge that corner. Also, the banners around the track are different than I'm used to, so yeah, I plugged it bad. But I do have a question for the LMU experts, and it's about what I'm about to put an arrow on screen. Just how the hell do you get rid of this box? It is so annoying. I realize how to get rid of the standing box on the top left corner, but how do you get rid of this box? I cannot get rid of it for anything. With that, we're going to jump into my second practice session, because I spend the rest of this practice session trying to remember where the pit entry is.
You have a penalty.
I forgot to set the pit limit.
You've got 3 laps to serve this penalty. Yellow flag in sector 3.
That's led for me. Yeah, at least I'm not like the Lambo guy that just spun out going into the final corner.
Sector 3 is now clear. Your quickest overall. We've got 2 laps left to come in and serve this penalty. Incident in Sector 3. Sector 3 is yellow. Sector 3 is green.
Alright, so I'm just going to serve my penalty now, get it over with, and yeah. So we're going to dive into the pits now that I know where the pit entrance is. And yeah, so serve the penalty, and then we'll go on our track and we'll do trackside, and then we'll wrap up with my thoughts on the title and what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Yeah, so let's get this penalty served.
Your penalty's completed. Exit is clear. Don't cross the line. Incident in Sector 3. Sector 3 is yellow. We think that Bruno has binned it. Your rear brakes are cold, mate. Green flag, Sector 3. B2.
So some of the things I like about it is the UI is kind of, not UI, the heads-up display is kind of familiar. It's kind of modeled the same as ACC's. I could have a different track map. I was playing around with different heads-up display settings, and I found a full map, and that's what I have set now. Where the gear shift indicator and all that stuff is on the bottom right corner. I wish I could move that so you can actually see the rear view camera, because I think it's really cool that the camera's working. Next to that, you have tire data. You also have tire data in the dash, the same as iRacing and ACC have with the dash working, unlike Gran Turismo, where the dash is basically blank or giving you wrong data. Reason why I re-enabled the heads-up display is because I wanted the force feedback indicator, which is the line going left and right under the miles an hour in the right side HUD. Another thing I like about it is the detail that they put into it that other sims do not have. All right, so the fact that you can feel a flat spot in a tire on this title is really cool. Don't mind me driving off track right now. Having a moment. Things I think they could do better is definitely one of them is setting up a wheelbase. Should be much easier. Also going in and changing like field of view is a pain in the rear end to get right on this title. Still struggling with it. That should not be that hard. I haven't found like in iRacing there's a conversion where you measure your distance from your eyes to the screen, and then it calculates a baseline. I haven't found that in this title yet. But let's jump out and take a lap in the car.
Exited in sector 2. Sector 2 is yellow. P12. That's your best lap in this session. It looks like Walls has stacked it. Yellow flag. Sector 2 is now green. 3 laps of fuel remaining. That lap was at 2:10.43. Sector 2 is now yellow. Green flag in sector 2. We think that Walls has gone off. Okay, Rob, you've got half your fuel left. Incident in sector 2, yellow flag. We think Jan has spun off. Sector 2 is clear. That's 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes. Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate. We think that Edward has crashed. We can see Roscoe has binned it. Green flag in sector 1. Green flag in sector 3.
Alright, I'm going to wrap it up here. I really didn't want this to go over 20 minutes or be this long to begin with. My thoughts are, it's got potential, a lot of potential. The visuals are good. I just wish it didn't have that ACC car floating replay thing. That's my only issue there. Sound-wise, it's amazing. Details, amazing. Setting up your force feedback, just so it's so hard. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it's the Moza. I don't know. They have a whole thing about LMU in their Discord, and I would have thought that would have been easier, but it is what it is. And, yeah, please do me a favor. If you like this video, hit that like button. Hit that. Drop a comment. And hit that subscribe button. It will help me out immensely. And I think this title's going to have a lot of good things coming, and we'll see how it goes.